Folks, Gunther's got a report so salty, it'll make your flip-flops squeak. We're down in D'Iberville, Mississippi. It's just a mere 5 miles north of the casino coast of Biloxi. Why? Well, waves were made here back in June of 2022 when a quote, $410 million world-class, one-of-a-kind destination combining a blue water lagoon, Sports Illustrated resort and adventure park, themed hospitality, restaurants, retail, and entertainment was announced. Blue Water Beach, and it's fun for the whole family. Longtime Ann Arbor local resident of over 30 years, and CEO of Sports Illustrated Resorts, Chris Schroeder described it to WLOX News. Quote, "We call it delivering the Caribbean to Mississippi with white sand beaches, crystal clear waters and a lot of other attractions surround the Blue Water Bay itself." While it wasn't mentioned during the official launch party of SI Resorts, earlier in February of 2022. Mary Perez of the Sun Herald reported, quote, "The announcement this week that a $410 million Sports Illustrated resort is planned for D'Iberville was a surprise to many people on the Mississippi coast and beyond, but it's been in the works for 1 year. A surprise? Or déjà vu all over again? Also familiar is that they got bonds for the project. After a unanimous City Council vote, Harrison County approved $10 million in bonds and tax breaks for the 75-acre development on private land. They call it TIF financing, a fancy term for borrowing from tomorrow's taxes to pay for today's splash pad. WLOX also reported, if everything comes together like Schroeder is hoping for, he said groundbreaking for the resort could happen around the beginning of 2023 with the opening in late 2024. But folks, the story doesn't end there. In a follow-up piece written on November 29th, around 10 days after the Ann Arbor term sheet and Mahoney's memo of recommendation were sent to Council, Perez reported the $410 million Sports Illustrated resort proposed in D'Iberville will have to wait out the interest rate spikes, if the resort is built at all. Interest rates are so high that it's just too expensive for them to proceed, D'Iberville City Manager Bobby Weaver said, of the developers of Blue Water Beach Sports Illustrated Resort. The mayor and city council extended the agreements to provide incentives to sports hospitality ventures, but those have expired, Weaver said. So has the contract with the property owner. Perez reported the same situation in Orlando. D'Iberville isn't the only city waiting for construction to begin. The developers, who opened the first Sports Illustrated resort in the Dominican Republic, announced plans for another in Orlando at the same time as D'Iberville. Construction hasn't begun in Florida. Meanwhile in Ann Arbor, surveyors hired by the city were out on site the week before Thanksgiving and back again 4 days before Christmas. Has Ann Arbor just rolled the dice with $200 million in bonds and public land? Remember, when it comes to big promises and sandy beaches, always pack your sunscreen and a healthy dose of skepticism. This ain't a beach trip, folks, it's a high-stakes game of development dreams and for-profit sandcastles in the sky.
Just to mention that we're planning to hold a community meeting sometime around the middle of January